Good afternoon, Jesuit College colleagues. I'm Antoine Garibaldi, President of the University of Detroit Mercy, and also a Professor of Education with a specialty in Educational Psychology. I'm really pleased to be a wrap-up speaker for this virtual Heartland Delta Conference on a very, very important theme, balancing economic realities with our call to the margins. I want to begin by telling you that I've been in higher education for 35 years, and 30 of those 35 years have been spent in Catholic colleges and universities. And one of the things that I learned early on in my work is that Catholic colleges don't have the necessary and extraordinary resources to always accomplish everything that we would like to do. But nevertheless, we go on, and as we jokingly used to say, every day that we open our doors is a miracle. So I know that we will continue to do our great work even without the economic resources that we fully need, but we'll also take care of our economic realities as we continue to do the work that we must do as Jesuit focused and Jesuit mission individuals. I need to also mention that for University of Detroit Mercy, which was consolidated with Mercy College of Detroit in 1990, we have both a Jesuit and a Mercy mission, and both of those missions are very much aligned in terms of our work and focus on education, on service, and on social justice. Now I have an incredible challenge to do, which I'm going to try to do within 15 minutes today, and that is to summarize briefly the speakers whom you have heard today, and then also offer a few comments on our theme of balancing economic realities with our call to the margins. So here goes. Father Greg Boyle, Sister Peggy O'Neill, Father Rick Malloy, and Dr. Raymond Reyes have challenged us today to continue doing our great work, and they provided some perspectives from the work that they do daily so that they will continue and we will continue to promote our Jesuit mission. Father Boyle began the morning by reminding us that women and men for others essentially means that we must be as involved as possible with those whom we serve. He also told us that it is extremely important that we develop a kinship and a connection with those who are poor, voiceless, and those whose dignity has been denied. In many ways, that is the apostolate of all of us, even though we consider ourselves to be educators. What Father Boyle does every day with the homies at Homeboys Industries in East Los Angeles is obviously not easy, but as he sees the successful results of his team's work, even if it's very small, it makes working and living with those young men meaningful. And he is obviously very proud to say that he has gained much from living with and developing a kinship in a community with those young men from East LA. The same is true for all of us who have taught and been an administrator. We learn very often just as much from the students whom we serve and also with the people whom we work. Sister Peggy O'Neill shared with us the impact of her experiences in El Salvador. Seeing innocent people suffering is never easy, she acknowledged, but remembering that God made us in his image and likeness requires us to do something that will help our brothers and sisters who have so little. Sister Peggy said it so well when she said that God is not an isolated nomad, but a community, a mystery fully alive in communion with the world. So just as Greg Boyle told us that kinship is important, so too is community and solidaridad, as Sister Peggy reminds us so well. In other words, we are all in this together. And as she urges, if we are true to the mission and vision of the Jesuits, we must engage our students to use their creativity and to use their professional skills so that they will be properly equipped to go out into the world and help those who live at the margins. And it is very important, she reminds us, to understand and to remember that Pedro Arrupe has told us that faith and justice are truly related. Father Rick Malloy charged us to engage the hearts and aspirations of our students. He told us that we should challenge our students to discover their deepest, truest selves and challenge them to envision and to think of themselves as persons who will contribute to the common good of our societies and our world. Jesuit education, he says, is primarily about critical thinking. It's not a secret. And our students need to see the world's challenges, and I also like to say the world's warts, and great hopes, and determine how they can be of service. For us, though, he reminds us to recognize that our students also have challenges of their own, and that we must help them through retreats, counseling sessions, and other kinds of support systems that we have at our respective campuses. It is important for us to prepare them so that they can be whole when they graduate. So we have to work more closely together to help our schools become places that can advocate for world peace and justice. Dr. Reyes provided some of his personal experiences and reminded us that our General Superior, Father Adolfo Nicolas, has said that we must work smarter, not harder, by leveraging the power of collaborative partnerships and more fully optimizing the global Jesuit network of higher education for the greater good. As he detailed in his remarks, Gonzaga's work in Africa is contributing to the advancement of education and nation building, particularly in a democratic society. And so both Gonzaga and also their Zambian collaborators win in this partnership as they're both sensitized to the needs of the people, particularly those at the margins in Zambia. Our speakers have reminded us of our commitment to our students, the need for us to form close and strong bonds of community in our dedicated service to our communities. I can amplify what our speakers have said by mentioning just a few of the many service projects that our University of Detroit Mercy students, faculty, and staff have been engaged in to assist the residents of Detroit. And as you've heard in the national media over the last couple of years, Detroit has truly been challenged, but the city is coming back alive and also up from the ashes, as we might say. But our students are engaged out in the community. Our undergraduate and graduate students deliver meals to senior citizens on the weekend with Campus Kitchen. They tutor students at our nearby Jesuit elementary school. Our students in the health professions assist students, young people, to learn how to eat properly in a nutritious kind of way. And they also provide health screenings to veterans. Our counseling and psychology students and their faculty provide assistance to more than 600 Detroit residents annually at little or no cost for psychological assessments, for counseling mental health services, and also for important counseling services that they would not be able to afford. Our students in the business school help residents with income tax preparation. Our architecture students are out in the community working with nonprofit groups, with schools, with community organizations to help them redesign parks and also to help them make better use of the space that they have to serve clients in the community. But by using that space more efficiently, they can serve even more of those individuals who are at the margins. And of course, our dental students serve more than 25,000 patients a year through our dental clinics at little or no cost, very low cost dental services. And our School of Law students in the clinics that they have assist individuals, families, veterans, immigrants, and many others in those clinics, providing free legal assistance and sometimes information on basic things such as a mortgage foreclosure, and also assistance when their children or some family member is involved in the legal justice system. All of those things are extremely important. And of course, just like many of you, our students are also engaged in alternative break trips, not just around the nation, but in the city and also around the world. All of us are committed to serve, and so our students are sensitized not only to the needs of individuals who live at the margins, but they're also expected to assist them when they leave the university, thereby fulfilling their Jesuit and mercy mission. In conclusion, I want to leave you with a short and profound comment that Pope Francis made a little bit more than 2 years ago. Much attention was devoted to Pope Francis when he washed the feet of incarcerated youth 2 years ago on Holy Thursday, 2013. But he responded to those who were curious about why he did it in a sermon that he gave. And he said this short, pithy statement: "Help one another. This is what Jesus teaches us. This is what I do, and I do it with my heart. Help one another. This is what Jesus teaches us. This is what I do, and I do it with my heart." That call to action says a great deal about our Jesuit, and in our case, also our mercy commitment to social justice and also to service. It is, in no question, our duty to help serve one another and to do it with all of our hearts. But we must do it in communion with one another, as our speakers have said, and also in solidarity with one another as well, so that there will be fewer individuals who are living at the margin. And I firmly believe that our economic challenges that we face will go away because of the importance of the work that we must do to help all of those individuals within our society with all of our hearts. So thank you for listening to me this afternoon, and I want to especially thank Sister Renee Kettering, who was helpful to me in many ways in preparing the transcripts of our speakers, whom I've had the opportunity to listen to and also to read, so that I can provide you with a summary of their remarks. Continue to do good and great work.